Yes, greetings to all from the campus of Genius Choice Institute. The created campus of Genius Choice Institute. Yeah. Right now, I want to talk to you about the need for creativity for almost everyone. Because life in almost all its dimensions have become very complex, ambiguous, uncertain, and so on. Researchers call the current world the VUCA world, VUCCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, changing, and ambiguous. Families are changing, relationships are changing, the work situations are changing, the work opportunities are changing, and the level of competition has become so high. The world has become very open, and all kinds of campaigns about education and learning, and everybody is now educated and learned. Even the villages, they learn about the world through their smartphones. So everybody is aware of opportunities or possibilities, and everybody is motivated. And on the other side, the opportunities are becoming lesser and lesser and lesser. So after so many centuries of technology and sciences and governments, the life has become as complex as the primordial times where human beings lived in the forests afraid of dangerous animals and climatic onslaughts and complexities of survival. Now there is no going back from this current cycle of complexity. So to manage this complexity, one has to be creative. That is the point which I am telling. Just don't wait for the complexity to diminish or to the world to become a peaceful, friendly, happy environment. Because everybody is suffering from anxiety and fears and tensions of survival, of competition, of sustaining their state of being. All over the world, the richer are becoming more and more rich. The powerful are becoming more and more powerful. So that natural process of controllers and followers will continue in a different dimension now. So to manage all these conflicts in work or life or relationships, one has to be creative. This I can say because I am a researcher in creativity and originality and genius and so on and so forth. Since 1974, I had dedicated my life for that purpose. I have not worked in any permanent positions for long. Wherever I worked, it was all for research in creativity. And further evidence is that I have published the latest book, The 9 Mental Traps of Corporate India. It is by direct observation of more than 5,050 senior managers of the country from various companies, about 140 companies, and questionnaire data from more than 13,000 educated young people of India. So in this I am declaring that without that creativity, India cannot progress or individuals cannot progress. And at the individual level, they will be able to manage life. Prices are going up. and relationships are going down. Now everybody has to have some money in order to survive. Even food manufacturing is taken over by multinational or large corporations. So anyway, rice is given free for ration card holders for a minimum price. But even to make that money, I am staying in a village adjacently. There people are, most of the days, they survive just because of 1 rupee a kilo rice. So again, I have published another huge book of 470 pages, The Master Thief. It is a beautiful interpretation of the 10 parables on how to manage the competency, how to manage life, and how to manage the old age. And my other books on management, very creative ideas on management, are available in Amazon.com. There is a magazine called Genius Choice, which I wanted to publish. 2 issues were published. So I showed this in order to give evidences for my role to talk to you, to talk to the world, that to manage life, work and relationships, so to manage the mind, to be happy and peaceful, one has to have creativity. Creativity of that dimension. Creativity is domain specific. Creativity in painting is different from creativity in music, from creativity in film, creativity in theatre, creativity in physics or sciences and other technologies. So Albert Einstein was creative in the field of physics, not in creative in chemistry or music or that. Great music directors are creative in that. Some of them cannot even sing. So what I am telling is creativity is domain specific. So in the domain of life, creativity is of a different type. There are no precise things to be invented or and all that. Everybody's life and process and settings is different from everybody else's. So one has to be creative enough to create at least a peaceful mind, a cordial home environment, or one has to be creative to somehow manage life, doing something or the other. If there are no jobs, and of course most of the jobs are already impermanent. Anytime anybody can be asked to go. So I am requesting people to be trained in their creativity, in their creative perspective. Everybody has that engines of creativity and let us say creative thinking or creative analysis. But that's all blocked from very early childhood onwards. That is what is written in this book. Everybody is creative. Every creativity researchers agree clearly that everybody has that creativity, creative engines. There are no special engine called creativity in anybody's mind. It is the way the existing engines of thinking, attention, perception, cognition and observation and analytical thinking works. So they are all blocked. Because from KG times, from school level, at university level, at institute level, the continuous training is not to think, not to understand anything on your own. That's okay. We have established systems to work in the current world. But to manage the unique details of your own life and work and relationships, to manage your work, to get to work, to do an independent job, even as a tailor or as a fabric designer or as a shop owner in a city, you have to be creative. Even to start one, you need a lot of creativity. It may not be possible because that much of competition. What to do, how to do, when to do. So being creative will help you definitely to manage your mind even during that work of starting something on your own. Even when you work in complex environments, creativity only can help you manage the mind. Creating alternative logics, creating mindsets, creating the calmness of mind regardless of the terrible winds of destiny. So as I have regular creativity training programs here for the trainers who want to do that. Occasionally individuals also come. But for you people, though the book is named Corporate India, please buy this book. It is basically written for the CEOs and vice presidents and leaders of corporations and institutions and governments, so that they will organize awareness programs and training programs in their domains. But nevertheless, it contains sufficient details for every individual to understand their own mental blocks. And when the mental blocks are over, naturally the creative spirit, the attendant spirit of the human entity, that survival engine, which is a creation of the nature process, it's a creation of the so-called God, according to many. It must have its own original engines in full force, which is working in the birds and the cats and the trees. So it must be working in the human beings also. So once the blocks are removed, they will all spontaneously make their projections, and further you can train yourself to be inspired about it and to continue your work. Wish you all the best. Wish you good luck to be creative in your life. Bye. Thank you.